Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is another episode of Physical Media Madness. Now, I'm about as late as you can possibly get when it comes to this month's installment, but it is what it is. It's still technically July, so it counts. Now, I got a fair amount of titles to show that I decided to add to my collection this month. Initially, it was going to be a pretty short one, but my local record shop had a pretty good sale, so I wound up adding enough to make it kind of a typical normal update. Now, I did order some other stuff through other sales and other ways, but they haven't come in yet, so I'll just show those when they eventually do come in. Without further blabbing, let's get to it. So I'm going to start with the collector's edition of Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story. This is an Amazon pre-order. I'm a big fan of Robert Englund. I not only love his Freddy character, I also like a lot of his other characters, like the Mangler character that he played in that film. I also like his work in V, and I think he did a pretty decent job directing 976 Evil. So I'm really curious to see this documentary, since I'm a fan of his. I know that this cover art's getting dunked on for some reason by fans online. I don't get it. I think it's actually some pretty nice looking cover art. I think it's a million times better than the Steelbook, which looks like a photoshopped, lazy mess to me. I even like this. I even like this bit of artwork there. So yeah, Robert Englund documentary. Here we have a film called Synchronic, from the directors of The Endless. And I saw a trailer for it. It looked kind of interesting, so I decided to pick it up for the collection. I know this just came out in 4K, but I did not have the film in high definition, so I decided to pick up the Blu-ray because it was pretty cheap. I checked it out. It looks pretty good, so I don't know how much better the 4K will be. It probably is going to be an upgrade, but I don't know about being a significant upgrade since this still looked really good upscaled, but that's just for me. I wouldn't mind getting it, but I'm not gonna rush to get it because I'm okay with the Blu-ray. Got a good deal on it, and it's an upgrade over the DVD. You know, I used to have only the DVD, so glad to get that Blu-ray. Got this because it was on clearance at Big Lots. It was like $2.50 for a brand new Blu-ray. Haven't seen this one yet. I know it's a remake of an older film, which I do have, with James Caan. I also got this from Big Lots, Driven, for the Stallone collection. Here we have Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. This is actually a paid request. I'm going to be reviewing this pretty soon, along with a few other titles from Brock. I haven't seen this in forever. I remember not minding it. But yeah, this poster is pretty bad, though. That's a pretty bad Photoshop. Picked this up for the Disney Pixar collection, Brave, the film I've heard about but have never seen, and it was only $1. Like it was super cheap. I got a bunch of these for like super cheap actually, because there was like 50% off of $2 titles. This is one of them, Braven, with Jason Momoa. Got this one, I Am Legend, with Will Smith. I know there's a 4K, but it's kind of out of print and hard to find, and it was $1, and I only had it on DVD, so I'm totally, for $1, I was like, sure, why not? Here you have Monsters Inc., the Blu-ray. I didn't have this in any format. Monsters Inc.'s a film I've been kind of curious about, but I've never actually seen all the way through. I also got the sequel, Monsters University, and another Disney Pixar film, and Coco, because I heard a lot of good things about it. This film also looks absolutely stunning, upscaled. So yeah, for the people who think I'm a Disney hater for some reason, like I bought a bunch of Disney movies. Cats. Yeah, Cats. It was half off. It was super cheap. I want to see this train wreck for myself, so that's why I got it. This Will Ferrell comedy with Amy Poehler. I remember watching and not minding. The House. Only had it on DVD, so upgraded it to the Blu-ray. Picked up Crazy Rich Asians mainly for my mom because she's a big fan of rom-coms, but also because of the fact that I'm kind of curious about it because this is kind of a big deal when it came out in terms of a film that starred so many Asian actors and actresses and was from their perspective and so on, and it actually wound up doing rather well in the box office, so that's why it was kind of a big deal at the time. I'm curious to see what all the hype is about. A Million Ways to Die in the West, with Charlize Theron, Liam Neeson, Seth MacFarlane. Monster House, film that I've seen like bits and pieces of, but I actually haven't seen the entire thing. And I don't know if there's a 4K of this or not. I don't know if it would really hold up that well. This is like a style of animation, like or CGI animation that at the time was state of the art, but looks kind of chunky in HD. But I'm still glad to have it on Blu-ray. Shooter and Four Brothers. It was a double feature for like $1. 2 movies for $1. I mean, why not? Where the Wild Things Are, the Spike Jonze adaptation. I haven't seen this yet. I remember seeing the trailers for it when it came out. I do remember reading the book. Spike Jonze is a pretty accomplished visionary director, and I thought it could be a potentially visually intriguing film to watch. Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr. This to me is honestly one of Robert's best performances. If you want to see Robert Downey Jr. deliver like some really terrific acting, I definitely recommend Chaplin. And I only had the DVD, so I was glad to upgrade that to the Blu-ray. Got Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Forgive me with like the lighting once again. Like I don't know what it is. Like I have the sun at my advantage, and it's still like anything that's white is like just completely like washed out for some reason. Can't see anything no matter what I do with the settings. So Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Because I have the first one in 4K, Finding Dory, because I have the 4K of Finding Nemo. Alien Covenant, because it was $1. $1 didn't cost me a crazy amount of money, so I figured why not for the collection. Battleship, because I just kind of want to see how dumb this movie is for myself. And it was only $1. Got The Hurricane with Denzel Washington. The Walk. Swingers. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah, this film sucks, but I didn't have it on Blu-ray. The Outsiders. Field of Dreams. Kiss the Girls. No Country for Old Men. The Accountant. Better Off Dead with John Cusack and that god-awful cover art. I don't know why they didn't use the poster. Catwoman. Now, what's really fun about this release is that. Not the price I paid, because I didn't pay. Well, I mean, I only paid $1 for it, but it's like Warner Brothers knew that you would be ashamed if you owned this movie on Blu-ray, so they're like, yeah, just leave the title off the spine. And really, what this should say is pure excrement, 100% pure excrement. That's what it should say on the back. Got Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I reviewed these like years ago, but I would honestly like to revisit them and give them another chance. The Founder was Michael Keaton, based on the true story of Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. Stuart Little, haven't seen this since I was a kid. Varsity Blues. The Siege. Bad Words. And that's it for the Blu-rays. Next up is DVDs and 4Ks. Fever Lake for the horror collection, because I've heard just how god-awful it is, and I like a bad movie sometimes. Reds. I want to see what the hype is about with this movie that was nominated for 12 Academy Awards back in the day and won a bunch. The thing is, though, this film is long. Like, crazy long. 195 minutes. And the DVD... the movie's so freaking long that it's split up onto two discs. Because the movie's so fucking long. The ninth configuration for the William Peter Blatty collection. And also for the cast. But I popped this DVD, and this DVD sucks. This is a really bad DVD. This is one of the early DVDs that does not hold up to the test of time at all. Like it looks like it's like a full screen release with a widescreen print that's just crammed in the middle of a full screen version of the movie. So it's not in the proper aspect ratio. And it's just so bad. Even if you zoom in on it, it still looks really rough. If I knew that, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but you know, it is what it is. I know there's a Blu-ray, so I'd like to get that one of these days, because that's basically unwatchable. Twin Sisters, some made-for-TV movie. I got this combo pack for Barbarossa from Goodwill. I love the honesty. Sucks. I love that. I love how the person who used to own this, they specifically hated that movie so much that they decided to like cross it out with a marker and say that it sucks. Here are some TV shows. I saw a video about this show on YouTube, and it looked like it might be kind of fun. Also, I remember watching some episodes of this back in the day on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I wanted to pick up the show, but the price was never right. But the price is really good here, because I only paid like $5 for each season and for the movie. So here we have Tripping the Rift, the complete first season from Anchor Bay. And then I also have the second season of Tripping the Rift. And then the movie. So, complete Tripping the Rift collection. Also got season 2 of Hill Street Blues, because it was brand new. And it was really cheap. And I have season 1 already, but I didn't have season 2. Also got season 1 of Fantasy Island with Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo. You know, played by Hervé Villechaize, if I can pronounce his name. So yeah, Fantasy Island. And then this Western show, The Magnificent Seven. I didn't even know this was a show. I didn't even know they made a Magnificent Seven show around this time. And got it for the cast, of course, mainly for Michael Biehn, because I'm a big fan of his. So that's it for the DVDs. Now we're going to get to the 4Ks. I'm going to start with the Vinegar Syndrome order that I got from their recent sale. I got Night Screams. Cover looks a little bit better with proper lighting. Once again, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm trying hard to make shit work, and I just can't get consistent lighting to save my life. It just kind of sucks in here. But yeah, Night Screams. Also got the Invisible Maniac. It's the censored slipcover, because I guess there was a limited edition slipcover that was uncensored, where you could do something, so then the girl on the cover would be naked. I don't really know. I mean, I guess I can get the appeal of that for some people, but that's kind of pervy, if you ask me. I'm just saying. The Roadhouse 4K set. I decided to get it because the quantities were getting pretty low, and it honestly was not going to go any lower. And I do like these Vinegar Syndrome releases that they do that are like this. I think it's the VSU. Yeah, the VSU releases. I have Six String Samurai. I have the Beastmaster. Now I have Roadhouse. I had the Blu-ray before, but I liked the film enough that I wanted to get it in 4K. Plus, I actually heard that this is actually a legitimately good transfer. Like a legitimate upgrade over the Blu-ray. Plus, there's some extra features and things like that are not on the Shout Factory Blu-ray. And stuff that doesn't just include, this booklet. And yeah, to me, it's not like a so bad it's good movie. It's just a good movie for what it is. It's a classic. It's a 80s action classic. With Patrick Swayze being a total badass. So that's Roadhouse. And then I got the 4K set of Blade in the Dark. Now this is a really cool looking box set. Got a lot of hype from various other collectors, and I could definitely see why. I mean, it's a pretty unique set. It opens up like this, so you have the hand there, and then you open up like that, and then the hand gets split in half. So that's a pretty cool looking slipcase. And then you've got the slipcover for the film, the 4K set. So you have this hard case cover, and then you have the cover here for the movie. Blade in the Dark. I only had it on DVD, so figured why not. Plus, I know that these kind of sets, they just go way up in price. And once they go out of print, then you got to pay insane amounts of money on the secondary market. So I didn't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that hassle. So I decided to, grab it. So yeah, Blade in the Dark from Vinegar Syndrome. These next two are two 4Ks that I actually got from a friend of mine through social media. He has a channel. It's called Sega CD Universe. Feel free to check it out if you're interested in video game stuff or vlogs or the kind of stuff that you see in Physical Media Madness, where, you know, showing off his latest haul. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking him out. But yeah, he gave me a good deal on these. So we got Collateral and In the Line of Fire. And the rest here are like a mix of stuff that I got from the record shop or from eBay or from a website it's technically a website that still exists, but not really in the same form it used to. So it kind of doesn't exist. But I got a lot of good deals on the site throughout the past few months. And this is like stuff from the most recent order I got from them earlier in July. But start with Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I actually saw this and I remember not being super big on it, but I was also really I was honestly kind of tired, and like I watched it in parts. So I really would like to give it a more fair shake by actually sitting down and watching it all in one sitting and in 4K with Atmos. Like that definitely does help, because I watched it streaming, and to be honest, the audio quality on the stream on Paramount Plus is pretty bad. Got The Lost City. I also have seen this one before. I had some fun with it, and the 4K was like half off, so I decided to get it. It's no Romance in the Stone, but it's still an enjoyable movie. I got this because it was half off. I've never seen this movie. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. Curious about it, you know, for the cast, and you know, because you know Nas and DMX. But I mean, I've never actually seen the movie. But it's a half off 4K. I mean, hard to beat that. The Little Mermaid, if I can speak. Forgive me if I've had multiple flubs throughout this video. I just took my allergy meds, and when they initially kick in, you know, I'm like in a bit of a daze for a little bit. But yeah, the Little Mermaid 4K. I actually don't mind this movie. And it was brand new. I mean, I opened it already, but it was brand new when I bought it. And it was only $5, so $5 for a brand new 4K, sign me up for that. Here we have the Criterion 4K of After Hours. This is a paid request. It's a review I'm going to be doing fairly soon. Saw this for the first time in years recently, and I loved it. I thought this film was great. And this is easily the best release this film has ever gotten on any format. If you are a fan of this film, you definitely need to get this. Whether you just get the Blu-ray or the 4K set, like, you definitely need to pick this one up. Highly recommended. Also got Naked Lunch, the 4K from Arrow Video. And this is where I'm going to do a bit of a rant, because I ordered these through Arrow UK because I get a better deal ordering through Arrow UK than I do through the US during their sales. Because US, for some reason, the sales aren't nearly as good, and on top of that, they don't have as wide of a selection, because there are certain titles that Arrow releases in 4K or on Blu-ray that don't actually make it to the US. And I ordered 3 4Ks. So I ordered Naked Lunch and I ordered Videodrome. Now, Naked Lunch came in relatively quick when it comes to something coming from overseas and going through customs. Videodrome, on the other hand, took a long ass time to get here, way longer than normal. It was stuck in customs in California for a couple weeks. And it actually didn't get here until like days after the supposed estimated delivery date. And when it got here, it was missing the other film that I ordered. I was supposed to have Videodrome and Silent Running in that package. The package even said that there were two items in it, but there was only one 4K. So not only did I have to deal with the hassle of waiting until it got through customs for weeks, But then once it gets here, I'm missing a 4K that I already paid for. I'm wondering how this happened. Is this a customs thing? Because when I got the box, it had this weird... I'll just show it. I'm not going to show the address. I'm not going to do that. But it has this weird fucking like zip ties or some shit on the box. Which the other box that Arrow sent me did not have that on there. So I'm like, did somebody in custom just like open the box and then put it back together with zip ties or some shit? But the box itself is still glued together. So I'm just kind of confused. And I'm like, was there supposed to be another package that was supposed to be zip tied to it? And that's why the zip ties are there? Because the zip ties are pointless. There's no reason for them to be there for a package that only contains Videodrome. It's just... I know it's a saga that a lot of people probably don't give a shit about, but I just wanted to vent a little bit. I did contact Arrow though, and they made it right. They're sending me another copy, another silent running 4K, but I don't understand how that happens. I get customs can be a pain in the ass and everything, but I mean that's the thing where I'm just kind of like, huh? And I've never had that happen before. Out of all the times that I've ordered directly from Arrow UK. I did get From Beyond. This is the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. No, it doesn't have the slipcover. I don't give a shit. Got a decent deal on it from Hamilton Book. A lot cheaper to get it from Hamilton Book than to get it anywhere else, whether it was Amazon or directly from Vinegar Syndrome. It just doesn't have the slipcover or the booklet. It has everything else. And it has the transfer. It has the features, and that's more than enough for me. So yeah, From Beyond 4K, Lone Survivor. I'm just going to do a speed run through the rest of these because we're already almost at 30 minutes. And at most, I want this to be like a 40-minute video. So I got a stack here. We're going to speed run through it. I think I might have shown this in the other video. I forgot. If I did, I forgot. Sicario, Day of Soldado. The Cabin in the Woods, because I want to give this another chance. Get Out. Really enjoyed it. Wanted to get that in 4K because I only had the Blu-ray. Central Intelligence, one of the few films with Kevin Hart and The Rock that I actually like. Cloverfield. Mulan animated. Now from the same guy who sent me this, the Mulan animated release, he made a mistake because it was from that site that I was telling you about that technically doesn't exist anymore. At least not the way that I knew it. He sent me the live action film. So I paid for the animated film, and he sent me the live action one. He made it right, though. He gave me a bit of a refund, and he basically knocked off like half the price on the live action one. Which I was like... He was like, you could send it back, and you could do that, or I could just knock off half the price. You send me $5. And I was like, I'd rather just send him the $5 instead of deal with the hassle trying to return it. Alita Battle Angel, another film I want to give another chance to. I think what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to judge it as its own thing. I'm not going to try to compare it to the OVA. Snow White and the Huntsman, and the sequel, The Huntsman, Winter's War, or the prequel, or whatever it is. And then I got 2 Punisher films. The only Punisher films we have right now. The Punisher, Thomas Jane, and Warzone. So yeah, that's it for the update portion of Physical Media Madness. Now I'm going to go through some upcoming releases. So the one that I was mentioning, I don't know if I actually mentioned it. I think maybe I was thinking about mentioning it, but if I didn't, I'm going to mention it here. If I did, I'm still going to mention it here. This is the Steelbook 4K of Halloween H2O. This is going to be coming out in September, and it says it's a Best Buy exclusive, but you can pre-order it on Amazon, and I just pre-ordered it because of the fact that I only want H2O in 4K. I don't need Resurrection in 4K. I don't need Curse of Michael Myers in 4K. I didn't want to pay that over $100 price tag, or a little bit below that, for the Halloween 4K box set with the other Halloween sequels from Scream Factory. So I'm really glad that there was a deal that was made and came out with this steelbook. And honestly, I think the steelbook, I think the artwork looks a million times better than the one from the Scream Factory box set. And I just really like the fact that it's going to be a standalone release, because that's the only other Halloween film I really wanted in 4K was H2O. I mean, I was almost trying to get it from the box set, like buy it separately from somebody who didn't want it for some reason, or was just splitting up the set. But now I get the opportunity to actually buy a new steelbook with some pretty cool looking cover art. In September, Sony's gonna reprint some steelbooks that were limited, but they went out of print, so they're reprinting The Fifth Element, The Equalizer, and the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 steelbook set. So if you didn't get an opportunity to like get this Ghostbusters 1 and 2 steelbook set when that came out a while back, or you missed out on the Ghost Trap limited set, here's your opportunity to get a pretty good box set of the first two films. Shout Studios, because they're no longer Shout Factory, they're releasing Wallace and Gromit, the complete series, on Blu-ray. Speaking of shows, they're also, or complete series, they are releasing Alf, the complete series, and not just the complete TV show, the live action show. They're also releasing the box set that includes the show, both animated Alf shows, and the movie, plus some extra features. And you can get other box sets that come with like a lunchbox and some other bells and whistles, but you can also get the standard version. The thing is, like, I think it's limited to like 120 something copies right now, like if not less than that, because that's what it was at when I checked it like a day or so ago. So it's selling pretty quick. I'm hoping it doesn't sell out by the time I got enough money to pay for it, because that would be a real big bummer. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that stock count. I think it'll probably be okay because of the fact that it's like $85-$90 just for the standard version. And it has all of the uncut episodes. It's not the syndicated versions. The only version that's not uncut is the version that was edited after the initial broadcast. There's one episode where a certain scene was cut out. Other than that, everything is all completely legit. And I know some people are probably like, well, it's DVD. Like, why isn't it Blu-ray? Because it would cost $1 million. It would cost way too much to do a Blu-ray of Alf. And it wouldn't be much of a benefit because it'll be SD. It's SD content. It's not like it's a remastered print of Alf. That doesn't exist because it was shot on video. So making a Blu-ray of it is a waste of money. So they did a DVD set. And I'm looking forward to that because I only have the Lionsgate set, and I've heard a lot of good things about Alf. I've seen some clips of the show and I enjoyed it. I know my friend Matt's a huge fan of Alf, so I definitely want to get a copy of that box set. Shout Studios or Scream Factory, they're also doing Night of the Demons trilogy. So you got the first film in 4K, then you have the second and third ones on regular Blu-ray. I liked Night of the Demons, but I wasn't like, I didn't love it. So it's one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't mind getting the 4K one of these days, but for the sequels, I'm totally fine with just having the DVDs. Like, I do not need the Blu-rays of those. The Blob remake's getting a 4K. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. I gotta admit, I love that movie, so I definitely would like to get that one of these days. Pumpkinhead is also getting a 4K release. from Scream Factory. No, it doesn't seem like they're re-releasing the sequel though, and there's no like double feature with 3 and 4. In case some people are wondering about whether or not that might be happening. American Graffiti's getting a 4K from Universal. Kino Lorber just announced that they're going to do a 4K of Sea of Love, the Al Pacino flick, which I'm looking forward to because I only have the DVD. And I'd honestly been wanting to get a Blu-ray, but I'm glad I waited now because it's getting a 4K. Cujo's getting a 4K in October from Kino Lorber. I really like the film, but I have the limited edition Blu-ray set from Eureka, and I know it's region locked, but I think it'd be just kind of difficult to really top that in terms of features, in terms of just overall presentation. But I still wouldn't mind getting it because it's 4K, and since it's Kino Lorber, when they do another sale, like they're gonna mark it down eventually. So like probably when they do a sale next year, it'll get marked down. So I'll probably just wait to get it when it gets marked down, or if somebody sends it to me as a gift. Witness is getting a 4K with Harrison Ford. Arrow Video is doing a House by the Cemetery 4K in the UK. I'm fine with the Blue Underground release. I don't really need the 4K. Arrow's doing a box set of the Hellraiser films, the first 4 in 4K. I'd be hard pressed to like part with my Scarlet box because I think it's a really cool box set, but at the same time, like if the money from selling it could help me afford the 4K set, I might contemplate it. Even though I'm not like the biggest diehard fan of the first 3 Hellraisers, so I really do like Hellraiser 3, and that'd be one of the main reasons why I would get it, just to see that in 4K. But also the first 2. I think the first 2 have some visuals, and especially the first film, that could really benefit from the 4K format. So I would like to get that, the Arrow Video box set. Plus I have some Arrow Video like points that I could use on it. The Others is getting a 4K. Kick-Ass 2 is getting a 4K from Lionsgate. I think it's Lionsgate released Kick-Ass 2. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is getting a 4K from Warner Brothers. They dropped a trailer that was restored in 4K, and it looks great, but it looked really good with the restoration that they did for the Blu-ray. So I mean, I wouldn't mind getting it because I am a big fan of the film, and I really do like the slipcover, to be honest. But I'm not in a rush because I have the box set with all the episodes of the show, of the animated series, and the movie and Sub-Zero. Shout Studios is also doing Natural Born Killers in 4K. I'm okay with the Blu-ray of that movie. I'm not as big of a fan of it as other people are. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm okay with the Blu-ray. I don't need the 4K of that. The Blu-ray looked pretty dang good anyway, up converted on my setup, so I don't really feel I need the 4K. The Exorcist is getting a 4K. So is Rosemary's Baby. There's a steelbook, limited steelbook of that, and the cover art is awful. The Exorcist, there's a lot of ranting about the steelbook or the Walmart exclusive slipcover, and I'm like, I don't think either of them really look that bad. The main retail release, though, with the poster art, that's definitely the one that I would say is that has the best art for me. So I'm probably just gonna go with that one. I heard, though, I could be wrong, but I could have sworn I read something that it's not porting over all of the features from the other box set, which if that's the case, that's just lame. Scream is getting a 3-movie collection in 4K. Scream 3 is also getting a 4K steelbook or a standalone 4K release for those of you who already bought the first 2. I actually didn't get around to buying the first 2 in 4K yet. They've been on my wish list for a while. So now I can get all 3 of them in one go. So I pre-ordered the Steelbook. It's not really a Steelbook set. I just pre-ordered the box set with the first 3. It does make me wonder though, like, is there going to be a Scream 4 4K? Because I would love to see that, but I don't know what's going to happen. It seems like it's kind of something that, I don't know, is maybe a little up in the air. Kiss the Girls is getting a 4K, but I'm fine with the Blu-ray that I just bought for super cheap. Rather see a 4K of some other type of film, you know, like Black Rain from Paramount than Kiss the Girls. Uncle Buck is getting a 4K release from Kino Lorber. That's nice. I do like the film. I enjoy the movie. I don't know if it's really a movie that would benefit a ton from 4K, but the transfer is kind of dated from the Universal Blu-ray. Friday the 13th is getting some limited 4K steelbook from Waxwork Records. I don't give a shit about it because it's just the same transfer as before, but with a lot of extra just fluff that costs you an arm and a leg. There's a new Mortal Kombat animated movie, Mortal Kombat Legends, Cage Match, coming out sometime in the future. Just going through here. School of Rock is getting a steelbook released. Could care less. That's a film that I feel like I've seen a million times already. Freaks, the Todd Browning classic, is getting a I think it's a Criterion Collection. Yeah, it's getting a Criterion Collection release, as well as the others, the Nicole Kidman. Yeah, The Exorcist. I know I already talked about the Monster Squad and how that was a release that was going to be coming out. If everything's moving a little slow, forgive me, because for some reason the page, the Dawn of the Discs page on Facebook is like loading like crazy slow on my end. So that's why, like, I'm not able to go through everything as quickly as I normally do. I don't know why everything's so goddamn slow. But since the page isn't like low, there's one other thing I'm going to mention. I'm going to mention Babylon 5. Like, I might have forgotten some other stuff that might have been announced like beforehand, like sometime earlier in July. But since the page won't load, I'll just wait to see the next video to talk about it. Yeah, Babylon 5 is getting a Blu-ray release with the complete series, so it's coming out in December if you're a fan of that show or you're just curious about it. I pre-ordered that. I had all the DVDs except for one season, but they really don't look the best on modern setups. So I'd rather just wait to watch the show until I get the Blu-ray set. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this month's installment of Physical Media Madness. It's clocking in a little over 40 minutes. And I don't want it to go on any longer. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you later.